Thank you, everybody, for tuning in to this week's Public County Sports Experience. I'm Caleb McClure.
And I'm Devin Meyer.
And we're here with Andy.
Hi, guys.
Hey, Andy.
Hey,
How
Andy.
you doing?
Hey, guys.
Guys, it's been a long time since we've been sitting
here.
here.
A couple months.
It's been a little bit.
The transition between the fall sports and the winter sports kind of got us. For anyone who's listening, we basically upgraded the studio a ton, and it kind of took a while to get everything tuned in correctly,
Yeah.
and so now we're here, we're back, we're upgraded, and we're here to talk about what went on so far, and we should be back for a while now.
Yeah, I'm excited. I was very sad that we haven't done a podcast in a while, but I think the upgrades were worth it. I really love the studio now.
Absolutely.
Yeah, the studio looks
Very
good.
nice
We have
and
sound
crazy.
panels all over the walls. We have a big curtain up. We got Manny in the back. He's producing. Thank you, Manny, for producing.
Shout out, Manny.
And now we have headphones. We can listen to ourselves. And I mean, I think it's a good setup.
Yeah. Andy doesn't have a computer anymore to look things up, though.
Andy's
we missed
not.
the TV. We got to get the TV up sometime.
Yeah, we'll get the TV up soon. But I say we get into it.
All right. What do we want to start with?
Well, I think the big one for the winter season is boys basketball. You guys had a stream last night. I wasn't there, unfortunately, but you guys were. How did that go?
rough.
I've seen a lot better from the Pueblo County Hornets in a lot of different ways, but that may have been the worst basketball game from the Hornets that I've seen in my all 3 years of being here.
Yeah, it was a rough
pretty
watch.
bad.
Yeah.
It was hard.
That's really unfortunate when that happens. Like, county seems to be unfortunately inconsistent. Like, we have really good games. Like, I went to the South game that we had a week or so ago, and it was a really good game to be at. Like, they played really good. Obviously, South has Maurice, and he's known as being one of the best ball players in Pueblo right now. And he was pretty locked down, honestly. And that we have to give a shout out to Brock Roseman. In that game, Brock absolutely locked Mo down.
We were missing Brock in the game against West.
Right.
He wasn't at the game.
Was not there.
So a big piece missing.
Yeah. Yeah. So you guys know the score. What was that?
I believe it was 31-62.
Something like that.
Okay.
Not a pretty score.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know what improvements we saw. Like,
yeah.
yeah,
So-
We gave him a compliment on South.
No, honestly, versus South, like, they played absolutely fantastic. Like, South is not a bad team whatsoever, and they came in and locked down. But like I said, I mean, they've just been a little inconsistent with losing to East and then losing to West. To be fair, West is also a really good team.
West also lost to East.
Yeah.
Did they?
By
Yeah.
the same
Okay.
amount
By
we
the
did.
same amount that we lost
And then
to
they
East.
lost to South by 3.
Okay.
But I'm pretty sure the entire South Central League, other than Centennial, because Centennial's the worst team in our league,
They're the worst team in every league.
is really close. Like, West is now 11-7. We're 10-7. South is doesn't even have 10 wins yet. I don't think, unless
is that in league or just overall?
overall.
Yeah. Well, so yeah, overall we are 10-7 this season. In league, we're 2-2, I think, because that wasn't a league game, was it, against West? Or it was?
Yeah, it was a league game.
Okay. Well, stats aren't in on Max Preps yet, but we are 2-2 in league, and that puts us 4th of 6th in league play.
Pueblo West's only win is against us.
Yeah.
Brutal.
Yeah. So actually, in terms of Pueblo boys basketball, 5A, 4A South Central League, we're actually over West. But
Really?
we are 4th in the league. The league goes like this: Pueblo Central is number 1 with a 5-0 record. South is 3-2. East is also 3-2. County is 2-2. Pueblo West in league play is 1-3, and Pueblo Centennial is 0-5.
I feel like the biggest, I don't even think that West game is the biggest loss for us. I think losing to East is the biggest thing, because then we'd be 3-2. We'd be, I mean, the standings might not say it, but we would be above South and East because we beat them, at least in my mind. I'm sure it works differently, but in my head, that's like how it would work.
I understand.
And then everyone's losing to Central. Central's really good.
That is, I'll be honest, I was not expecting that. Like, I know a few of the dudes on the team, but like I wasn't expecting them to come out and just dominate the way they've been dominating.
Central, you're talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. Central's kind of
it's kind of
almost
just
a sleeper team.
Almost a sleeper team.
Like kind of slept on. I didn't think Central was going to be this good.
But can we look up some stats on Central? I want to see like who their leading scorers and whatnot are. Probably Luke Beltran, no?
Luke Beltran's up there.
Points
Xavier
per game.
Davis is the big one.
Xavier Davis is averaging 17 points per game.
That is crazy.
He's averaging 8 rebounds per game.
17 and 8 is wild.
Yeah, he's also leading them in blocks with 1.3 blocks per game.
Fire.
Yeah, he's got the most blocks, the most rebounds. He's got the most points as well. So it looks like Xavier Davis is leading their team right now. And second points per game is Luke Beltran with 8.
That was my guess. That is a crazy difference.
I know. That's a big difference.
From first to second.
Let's look at South's big difference. I'm pretty sure it's Mo averaging like 35 and then...
Mo's averaging 35?
35.
Pull it up.
And that's...
Mo is averaging 33.5. So you were close, Devin. I mean, pretty on the head. Second for them is Andres Cura, averaging 7.4 points per game. So bit of a difference there. Maurice has also got 7 rebounds per game.
I'm pretty sure he leads them in every
6 steals per game. He has the most assists. I mean, he's leading every stat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's a beast.
That's fair. I think he is the best basketball player in Pueblo, to be fair.
He is the best basketball player in Pueblo. He's second in the state right now.
Yeah. So
who's ahead of him?
Some 6'6" guard. I don't remember his name. It's hard to beat a 6'6" guard. 5'10".
Yeah, 5'10".
We got a little.
I think he might be a little bit shorter. From when I was like standing next to him.
Who's the shortest player in the NBA right now?
Marquise Norrell.
I don't even know who that is.
Marquise Norrell.
Pretty sure
looks like he plays for the Celtics. Yeah, 5'7", and he's a guard.
He plays for the Celtics G League.
Yeah.
Right. Well,
so I mean,
he could make it.
Yeah. Let's see.
I'm sure he can. He has offers.
His Max Preps page says that he's 5'8".
Really?
It's reported 5'8".
Well, that's Max Preps. The NBA says he's 5'7". NBA called him out.
Max Preps for Maurice.
Oh, okay.
Maurice Max Preps page says he's 5'8". So
I do have
So yeah, I mean, so for us, we
held Mo to 35 and got a dub. So County is really gritty defensively. It seems.
Yeah.
For the most part.
West game.
Not in the West game.
Okay, not in that West game.
Watching it, I want to say something. Watching it, Andrew Trujillo was like the biggest thing that influenced. He was the 6'8", big boy.
Oh, big boy. Okay.
And clogging the paint. I think that was probably the biggest. I don't know.
Because we don't have an actual big.
I don't think we shoot the ball that much, and we couldn't drive.
See, here's the thing.
There were no layups falling.
They were in a 2-3 zone the whole game.
The entire game.
2-3 zone the entire game until the end when they were up by 30. They were in a 2-3 zone, and we're not good enough shooters to beat the zone, and we are not big enough in the post to also beat the zone. We can't beat zone defense with a big like that. That big, he just literally stood. He would just work his way in and out of the neutral zone the whole time, just sneak in. So they wouldn't get the not neutral zone.
The 3-second penalty.
Yeah, 3-second penalty. I mean, we couldn't do anything. We couldn't. We would get past maybe 1 or 2 guys, but the second we got to that big, we would just panic because we don't have any big down there to keep up with them.
Yeah. Our tallest player is like 6'3".
Yeah, our tallest player is Barrett right now.
Yeah, and Barrett's like 6'3", 6'4".
Yeah.
And Barrett's not nearly as like that. That kid was thick. He had muscle.
Well, the thing is, and he can be a big guy, but we're not using him as a big. He didn't even in that zone defense. He didn't post up. He didn't he literally could have just started on the block and just shoot up right to the elbow. Yeah, because the wing's the outside. He could have just shot up to the elbow, got it in pass, and just turned around, pushed him down. But he's just not. They're not using him like that, and they're not giving him the opportunity to be big.
Yeah, they're using
like
Andrew Trujillo more as like a defensive clock to paint, and we're just not good enough shooters, like you said, to.
And we have some shooters, but we're not trusting our shots.
Yeah.
We didn't take any shots against their zone defense.
That many shots.
Yeah.
We just maybe
crappy layups, to be honest,
or just getting stuffed.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know, almost all of our points were fast break points. We didn't know. There was very few times where we just went down.
Lowry had one pull-up three, and that was his only bucket of the night.
Actually, you wouldn't believe it. Lowry missed a heavily contested mid-range shot.
Really?
Because it was 6'8" man standing in front of him.
Yeah.
So Lowry had to shoot it to the sky.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I mean, when I saw this, the thing is like, I think with that big guard, we just weren't able to handle that. Or not big guard, that big center.
Man, yeah.
Like, I just think we weren't ready to handle that because when I'm watching like the South game, like I said the other night, I mean, Lowry's pulling up to heavily contested shots, mid-range, long range, and he's hitting them like most of the time. I mean, a really good percentage of the time.
We didn't see Lowry shooting much at all.
No,
Lowry didn't shoot
one
at all.
bucket that entire night.
Yeah, we weren't giving it to him, and I guess he just wasn't trusting it.
Yeah.
But we need. You know, I believe in Barrett. He could be good. He just needs to get big. He needs to
needs to be more dominant in the paint.
He needs to get gritty
More
and freaking.
aggressive.
He needs. You know, we're missing our old bigs. We're missing our Braxton Vales and our. I'm trying to think who else was our bigs from the past.
Well, we had Dominic Morrow, but
You still can't call Dominic Morrow a big. He's the strongest man I know by a ton. He's got that farmer strength. He's not a tall guy. He's not big, you know?
I'm trying to think.
And for what he is, he does really good down low, honestly.
Oh,
and him
crazy.
and Jonathan, but they're just not bigs. They're not 6'8". They're not
You know who I also like in the paint, like low key on the down low?
on the down low.
Cole Barger. I've tried playing against him myself. He's good in the post. He's got some moves.
He's got some post work moves. And like I said, I think that West game is a little bit of a matchup issue. We definitely had.
We saw Cole Barger post up more in that game than Barrett did. Barrett didn't post up once. Barrett didn't get the ball and just back him down once in the entire game. Didn't even try. Never once was he back to back with that guy and tried to go for the post up. I don't think we saw him in the post much at all. And they took him out. He started the game and they took him out and he didn't play much the rest of the game because they just knew it wasn't going to work.
I'm interested we didn't see any more JJ Barger than I thought we would.
JJ Barger was doing much better than Barrett that game.
I felt like that
he was actually a bigger body. He was
bigger body to throw at him. And I mean, I guess, I don't know. I feel like maybe we could have spaced the floor. Anyways, I feel like that game was more of a matchup issue more than anything. We also just played really bad, but you clean up a little bit of the little things. I still think that's a little bit of a matchup issue. And we have a first year head coach. So these are things we're going to have to clean up. We play against West. I'm pretty sure, again, it's our last game of the season, of the regular season, before playoffs. So we'll see how that goes. Hopefully we can make some adjustments and that game's a little bit closer. I do think Publius was just really hot last night. They were getting a lot of just shots to fall.
Yeah, in my very humble opinion, I don't know if we have the skills right now to beat West, but we have the skills to not make the score 60-30.
Yeah,
in my opinion,
absolutely. I mean,
I definitely think we could cut. It could be at less than a 10-point loss.
We absolutely could have beat their 3-2 zone easily. It wasn't a good 3-2 zone. They weren't switching particularly well. That wasn't like an impressive zone.
Open corner shots.
Yeah. We literally could have.
Gled was getting good looks in the corner. He was just missing his shots. He had missed like 3 threes.
We literally could have just gone 5 out and gotten that big on the perimeter.
Right.
We could. I get it. If it's a personnel issue and you don't want to go in the paint, don't go in the paint.
Yeah.
But send 5 out and punish them for playing that 3-2 zone.
Right.
Just literally keep passing, find the open pass, take the 3.
Yeah.
It's a new ball game. It's not 2001 anymore. You don't have to, big shack it down there and freaking, just post game. It's not, Tim Duncan. Bigs aren't the game anymore. You can take 30, 40 threes in a night.
Yeah.
You're not going to get fired for that anymore. They could have just had 5 out and just punished them having that big because he obviously didn't have very much perimeter defense. I mean, he was a great player, but as any 6'8" teenager is going to be, he was, a little bit, tumbling, stumbling, bumbling around,
Yeah. Yeah.
I love getting JJ Barger as a good body to throw at him.
yeah,
JJ was doing good against him. He was the only one actually getting some rebounds and posting up a little bit.
Right.
But they're just
hard.
raw in the post. We really don't have
I
a
could
true
probably
post
pull up
player.
that kid's weight real quick.
So looking at like the leaders for us this year, the season so far, Jonathan Gonzalez has 14 points per game. Dominic Mara is averaging about 12 points per game, and Lowry's averaging about 10 points per game. Dominic Mara and Jonathan Gonzalez, not surprisingly, at the top of rebounds per game, which again is unfortunate because we do have a big and he's not grabbing rebounds because he's not at the top of our.
I mean, if you don't
rebounds per game.
I'm sorry to keep rambling about the West game, but if he didn't want to go up in the paint against that guy, like I said, at the block, flash up to the elbow, catch a pass. You don't want to turn around, shoot. He wasn't covering him. The guy was standing under the basket. If he just flashed up to the edge and just took a pass, just an entry pass, turn around, shoot. If you don't want to go in on that, you have to be with guys like that. 6'8", how much did he weigh? 6'8", really big dude. All right. You can't play physically against him. That's not going to work. You have to play technically. You have to out-technique him. You have to just... You can't play into his strengths. You have to play away from his strengths.
Yeah. Or you could try to get him in foul trouble is the only other option. But you got to... But our team was scared to be physical with him.
We were scared to be physical.
We
were chucking up little floaters and layups that he can just swat. If we went up high on glass, he's got to come for our wrists and our hands. Let's move on, shall we?
Any quick closing thoughts from you guys about the Pueblo boys basketball team?
I think all I've had to say has been said.
Yeah, so we rambled on for a while about that. We're about 20 minutes into the pod now, so we can definitely move on.
Let's go to girls basketball.
We can go to girls basketball. Honestly, for me, I'm not going to have many notes. I haven't been to a game yet. I haven't seen much. I can tell you that overall we are 12-5, and in league we are 4-1, which puts us second in the 5A 4A South Central girls basketball standings. Second only to West, who is 5-0. Looking at stats here, the Stupniks are on top of every single leaderboard. Points per game, shooting percentage, rebounds per game, assists per game, blocks per game, steals per game. I mean, just everything. They seem to be dominating in terms of that. And all we can ask is that they keep it up through the rest of league play. And yeah. Good job, Pueblo County girls. Keep on shooting that ball into the basket. So we can go over hockey very quickly. We don't have stats, unfortunately. Overall, they're 5-8, so losing record on the season, unfortunately. And in league, they are 4-3, which puts them third in the league. Which is
who's in our league?
It's the 4A South League. Palmer. Cheyenne Mountain.
Palmer Ridge or just Palmer?
Just Palmer. Palmer, Cheyenne Mountain, Pueblo County, Rampart, and Woodland Park. Woodland Park is at the bottom of the league with an 0-6 record. And we're dead center of the league.
You know what I hate?
4-3.
I hate how there's Palmer Ridge, and Lewis Palmer. Who is
Very
this?
Confusing.
Who is this Palmer guy?
Then there's also
What did he do?
Ridge, Mesa Ridge.
There's a lot of ridges.
A lot of ridge.
But who is this? Who's
this Palmer guy?
Lewis
Why does he get so many schools named after him?
What did Palmer do?
Yeah, so wrestling, we have nothing to say because no one will put anything into max preps, and so we have no clue if they're doing good or bad.
Tony Mack hit 1,000 wins? I'm pretty sure.
I don't if they post that stuff, it's usually like on Instagram or on
we don't use social
Twitter,
media.
and I'm just not on that.
Oh, okay. You're just not on social media.
Nope.
I just have no clue.
I got Snapchat and YouTube.
I got max preps. I just scroll max preps every night for 3 hours.
Really?
No, definitely
No, I
not
believe
really.
you. I truly think that that's your passion. It's just to read Max Prep stats.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure all that's getting cut out anyway.
No, that's okay. You just were leaning way far back from the mic, like 3 feet behind.
Yeah, bro, I'm about to fall asleep. I'm tired.
Yeah. So it's all right. I told him.
All right, should we just do player of the week?
So I think now we're going to move on to Pueblo County's player of the week. And honestly, it's not player of the week. It's player of the winter season so far because we missed so many weeks of the winter season.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm considering the entire season so far.
That's fair.
And should I go first? Do you want me to go first?
I
or-
think we're all in agreement here. I think we know who it is.
Yeah. For me, it's Brock Roseman.
Absolutely, Brock.
He's been a defensive
Force.
nightmare for the other team. Like, honestly, we could use some work on the defense, it seems, especially with our loss against West. And I think Brock is really showing up. He's showing up. So I don't know what you guys are thinking.
Well, I have a different opinion because I'm different. I think Jonathan Gonzalez, he's stepped it up so much from last year. He's really had to fill in like that Nico Valentine role where he's the one option. He doesn't have really much of a choice. He's our best senior. Brock Roseman is great on the defensive end, but he doesn't score much, which that's not his role. So it's not a dog on him, but I just feel like Jonathan's leading us in rebounds, in points, in block. I'm pretty sure he might be second in blocks. I'm pretty sure Barrett leads us in blocks. He leads us in steals. I just think Jonathan has put in a lot of work and has carried a hefty load for us, especially with this team being so young that he kind of has to get his flowers. And even if that's just me putting him up as a candidate for player of the week, I think that he deserves it just as much as any other candidate.
you know, Devin, I don't hate that.
I'm not a hater. That was
I'm proud of you,
that was
Devin.
a good speech.
That was good.
That being said, Brock Roseman.
Yeah, Brock
still the
Roseman
pick. Yeah.
is still for me.
Yeah, that's
And I think, and I think we can, you know, as the weeks go on, we'll have more players of the week. And I know Jonathan is going to keep being consistent just because he is. So yeah, I think Brock Roseman, you are Pueblo County Hornets Player of the Week.
Congratulations.
Congratulations. Listen, I want to thank everybody for tuning in to this week's Pueblo County Sports Experience. We really appreciate it. Hopefully we have more than 0 listeners since we left for so long.
I'll listen to it.
We apologize for being away for so long, but we should be back now. And yeah, I think that's all we got to say. Thank you guys for listening. Anything else from you guys?
no, sir.
Nope. Excited. I'm glad to be back.
Sweet. Thank you everybody for listening. Have a great night.
Good night.